Today, I'm diving into a topic I wish someone had sat me down and explained to me while I was younger, and that is money mistakes to avoid in your 20s. I made it quite few, and trust me, it wasn't pretty. But hey, we live and we learn, right? The good news is you don't have to make the same money mistakes as I did. Let's dive right in. Starting with money mistake number one, it's not negotiating your salary. Yep, this was my first big money mistake and it cost me tens of thousands of dollars. Let me explain. When I got my first job offer as a business analyst for a consulting company, I was so ecstatic to see an offer for $60K a year. I had never made that much money in my life. I had retail jobs like working at Jamba Juice, school jobs like being a front desk coordinator and an ads manager for the school newspaper, and even fresh out of college, I started with contract marketing jobs which paid hourly. So seeing a 5-digit offer made all logic go out the window. I didn't do any research on the salary or even try to negotiate. I just accepted it because I was grateful at the time and I didn't even know that asking for more was an option. It was only till later when I was about to quit the job that I felt close enough to ask my coworkers how much they were making, and to my surprise, when I heard they were making $80K a year with the same amount of experience as me. I just remember feeling one, awful, and two, thinking, wow, I missed out on $20,000. Back then, that could have covered a down payment on a house. I told myself I would never make this mistake again, and when I applied for the next job and got an offer, I negotiated and got a $80K salary. As someone who has personally made this mistake, take it from me. When you don't negotiate, you're leaving money on the table. In fact, you're setting a precedent for your salary trajectory at that company, and it can have a long-term impact. You have to realize that even if it's your first job, employers expect you to negotiate and usually have room to offer more. A few $1,000s more in your starting salary can add up to tens of thousands of dollars, especially when you factor in raises and bonuses. And honestly, let's be real. What is the worst thing that can happen? They say no? Cool, we move on. So friends, negotiate that salary, know your worth, and ask for more. And if you're enjoying this video so far, please hit that like button so we can send this to the right audience and help more people set themselves up for financial success. Moving on to mistake number two, not saving and investing for retirement sooner. I feel like when you're in your 20s, it's so easy to put off contributing to your employer's 401k program because one, what even is that? How does that work? Why does it sound complicated? And two, you think to yourself, well, retirement seems so far away. Why do I have to worry about that now? Don't fall for this trap. I had a 401k program through my employer, but I wasn't contributing to it for the first 2 years of my career. That was a big mistake. Let me tell you why. The earlier you start investing for retirement, the more you can take advantage of this magical thing called compound interest. Essentially, this is when your money earns interest and that interest starts earning interest too. So even if you're only putting away a small amount, over time, it can snowball into something much bigger. But if you wait, you miss out on those early years where your money could be growing. Just to give you an example, let's compare two scenarios. James and Sarah both aim to reach $1 million in their investment account by 65 years old. James starts investing in his 30s while Sarah starts in her 20s. Let's assume an average annual return of 10% from the stock market based on historical data. Looking at scenario one, James starts investing at the age of 35 and plans to retire by 65, meaning he has 30 years to grow his money. In order to reach $1 million, assuming an average annual return of 10%, he would need to invest around $442 per month. On the other hand, Sarah starts investing at the age 25, and since she also plans to retire at 65, she has 40 years to grow her money. To reach $1 million based on the same assumption, she only needs to invest around $158 per month. What lesson can we take from this example? Starting 10 years earlier allowed Sarah to invest much less each month and still reach the same goal. Switching gears but on the same topic of retirement, another huge thing I missed out on the first 2 years of my career was my employer's 401k match program. You guys, this is literally free money that companies give to you when you contribute to your retirement account. So if your employer offers a 100% match on up to 4% and you're not contributing at least up to 4%, you're leaving money on the table. It's like saying, no thanks, I don't want a bonus. So here's my advice. Even if you feel like you don't have a lot to contribute, start with what you can afford, whether that's $20 or $100 a month. And if your employer offers a match, take that match. Retirement might seem far off right now, but the sooner you start, the more secure your future will be. Also, if you want $25 worth of free stocks, use a link in my description, create an account, and invest $25 with SoFi, and they'll give you $25 worth of stocks. It's kind of like a match. So make sure to take advantage of that and start investing your money. Moving on, money mistake number 3, living beyond your means and falling victim to lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep happens when your income increases and instead of saving and investing that extra money, you spend more money on non-essential items and luxuries. This can look like upgrading your home, buying a new car, dining out more frequently, and splurging on expensive vacations. It's not always noticeable at first because the changes can feel justified. After all, you've worked hard to earn more money, so why not enjoy it, right? Here's the problem. Lifestyle creep is sneaky. You get used to a certain level of spending, and before you know it, you're living paycheck to paycheck, even though you're making more than ever before. The things that felt like luxuries eventually feel like necessities, and you'll need to maintain that level of spending just to feel comfortable. My advice here is rather than upgrading your lifestyle every time you get a raise, prioritize your financial goals, like building wealth, investing, and creating financial freedom. Then you can put aside a portion of that money to enjoy, knowing that you paid yourself and put future you first. Next, money mistake number 4, not knowing where your money is going. There is way too many people who don't have a budget, meaning they don't have a plan for their money. Without a budget, it's easy to lose track of where your money is going. Money comes in, back out, and you're left wondering, where did all your money go? Personally, it wasn't until I started tracking my expenses that I realized how much I was spending on eating out, travel, shopping, and subscriptions I didn't even know I had. Creating a budget gives you visibility and control over your money. It helps you prioritize your spending and actually helps you make sure that you're reaching your financial goals. You can find the budget template that I personally use in the link in the description. And last but not least, money mistake number 5, ignoring your credit score. Tell me why for the longest time I thought I could just live life using my debit card. Growing up, I never understood why people use credit cards. That was until I tried to buy a home back in 2019 and get pre-approved for a mortgage loan. I remember the lender asking me, "What's your credit score?" And I remember thinking to myself, "What is that?" and responding, "I don't think I have one." Luckily, the lender ran a check and actually said that I had a credit score. I asked her, "How is that possible since I didn't have a credit card?" She looked at my account and said that I was added to a line of credit and added by the person of the name Nympha Garces. Yep, my mom saved my butt and built my credit score for me. The reality is that most people aren't as lucky as me. Having a good credit score is important because it's like a financial report card where lenders, landlords, and employers will look at it to determine if you're responsible with money. Having a good credit score gives you access to lower interest rates, better financial products, and more opportunities in life. My advice here is get a credit card early on when you start having expenses and use it responsibly. Use it for purchases that you can afford to pay off in full each month, and make sure to pay your bills on time. Your payment history is the most important factor in your credit score. So maybe think about setting up autopay. And if you don't know what credit cards are out there, I compiled a spreadsheet of all my favorite credit cards that I personally own and use. You can find it in the link below. There you have it, friends, the 5 biggest money mistakes to avoid in your 20s, whether it's negotiating your salary, living below your means, saving for retirement early, budgeting, or building your credit score. These are all lessons I learned the hard way, but now you don't have to. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more personal finance content. And if there's a money mistake that you made or a tip that helped you, drop it below in the comments. I would love to hear from you. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.